And they're sick of hearing people say things as if it's truth and it's not. The good thing about young people is they're willing to research it. And again, I applaud you for that. Let me tell you a quick story. I was a wrestler in college. I grew up in a very challenging environment that some of you may be able to relate to, some may not. I use it on a regular basis. Some grew up with a silver spoon. I grew up with a plastic fork. My mom married 5 times. She married the same kind of abusive alcoholic individual. I'm a byproduct of her being gang raped. I don't say that as an excuse. I say it to stand here as a senator that cheers economic development around our state and go, if you're willing to put the effort in, we still live in a country where you can rise to the top. Stop making excuses of why we are. Is it harder for some? Of course it is. Might even be harder for some of you in this room. But let me move to the wrestling story real quick. I was pretty accomplished in sports, and in wrestling, I was getting ready to go to the finals. And if you've ever wrestled, you know that they have a towel. It's called a towel boy or a towel girl. And they come out and they hit you when you get at the end of the match. I could have sworn I heard the buzzer. I was beating a kid 14, 15 to 1 or something like that. And I rolled over my back and I got beat. There's 2 seconds left, I got pinned. A valuable lesson. Because not only back then could your coach lay hands on you, so I learned that lesson when we got to the locker room. But the biggest lesson was, we do not quit until the end. Guys, a lot of things happen in the election. We can blame a lot of people, but every one of you are in the room right now. In Georgia, I promise we'll lose every single football game if you quit at halftime. You hear me? We have to be engaged. Regardless of what's going on with the elections, we've made some big strides in the last election bill, but we have to fight to the end. Let me transition to why I bring this up. We currently have a labor commissioner, 11 years, he's served, going on his 12th year. This agency is so broken that the previous Governor Deal, the administration, stripped away workforce development and put it with TCSG. It's not just the pandemic. Fact of the matter is, you can look at GPB, they just put out an article. $6.6 million of your money is paying leases on empty buildings right now. This is your money. And we have to change that. We're better than that as Republicans. So I've offered myself up for Department of Labor. Quickly, there are 3 things I'll do, and then I'll tell you what the Department of Labor does. Number 1 is, we should make sure we have relationships in the General Assembly. I got 125 current and former elected officials endorse me. Number 2 is, you've got to modernize. You get this as young people. Some of the older people don't understand this. You need to use technology. Several states have already modernized their Department of Labor. You're taking the cost from $16 a claim to $4. You make it easier to file a claim, and you eliminate most of the fraud. Right now, over $1 billion in fraud is being paid of your money. The third thing is those empty buildings. That's not a workforce problem, guys. That's a leadership problem. What am I looking to do right now? I'm looking to make sure that the Department of Labor does exactly what you hired them to do. That is workforce development. So young people can have an opportunity, so that veterans coming back can have an opportunity, so prison people that are incarcerated or out on probation can have an opportunity, and so seniors that maybe jobs have left them, we can still take the gas that they have in the tank and have an opportunity. 8 years in a row, we're the #1 place in the country to do business, but the Department of Labor is undermining that right now. I don't apologize for coming hard, because you hire us to do a job. We can go have a beer or a glass of wine or whatever and enjoy it, but when it's time to be on the job, it's time to be on the job. So I'm Bruce Thompson, I'm running for Department of Labor, and I appreciate your support.